So, did you come here looking for the drowning puppy video? What an amazing sight. Cars, boats, small sheds floated by. At one point, my sound tech pointed out that there was a dog in the water swimming for its life. You got the right guy. I wish I had more of those videos. But first, let's get underway on this 2018 Goldwing touring motorcycle with a DCT transmission. I'll talk about that in a minute. As soon as I answer your questions about the drowning puppy video. I'm leaving work at Texas Instruments in Dallas, where I work as a video editor, sometimes shooter. And but let's get back to that drowning puppy video. It was a puppy, and he struggled to climb up on something that would keep him above the water. Many of you subscribed to my channel after seeing that video and probably expecting more puppy videos. If I come upon any more, you will see them here. But that video, it was once in a lifetime. Let me tell you, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, there's a link below to the drowning puppy video, but I'll show you a couple of clips here as soon as I get through this gate. There we go. Saving that puppy was something that came upon me while I was covering flooding for CBS News as a cameraman. I've worked as a network news cameraman on a freelance basis for more than 35 years. I locked down the camera and began making my way through the rushing water. I knew how dangerous it was to try this. I'd shot too many stories of people dumped into rushing streams because they were just sure the water wasn't strong enough to push their car off the road. It always was. So I was careful. But when a large tree limb floated by me, I knew I was risking my life and I had to turn back. It's a compelling story. Years went by and I finally, a little over a year ago, put the story together in my own edit and told the story. Well, 4 online media companies asked my permission to use it, and I said as long as they gave me credit, which they did. And all 4 recut the story a little shorter without my narration, but still essentially told the story. And between the views the 4 media companies got and my original edit got, that puppy video was seen almost 80 million times. Wow. How often does that happen? And because of that, I got a number of subscriptions to my channel, which put me over the 1,000 subscription mark for being able to monetize my channel. And so this is my first video where I'm going to be putting fresh on my channel in a long time. And it'll go out to all you new subscribers who came to me expecting more of the puppy video. What you're getting is a guy who loves animals. If I ever come upon another puppy video or compelling animal story, you can bet you will see it here. But You'll also see a number of other things because I have eclectic interests. I am a network cameraman and video editor. I edit in Final Cut Pro 10 and Apple Motion, and I will occasionally do videos on that. And of course I'll do videos like I'm doing now, riding my 2018 Goldwing Tour DCT, and letting you ride along for the adventure. So I hope you'll stay. And I have other interests. If it's a good story, I will do it because I'm from Texas, born in San Antonio, and as anyone will tell you, any Texan has the natural gift of telling a story. So you'll see it here. And in fact, there's been a couple of times in my life where I worked for a regional network like the News of Texas, where my only job was telling stories about people around Texas. And I'll give you a link to those stories as well, like the lady who ran the only TV service in Muleshoe, Texas, out of her upstairs bedroom. This is a small panhandle farming community, population less than 5,000. Not big enough for a big city broadcaster to come into town, so where do folks around here get their information? From Maggie Reynolds and our Mule Train News.
Get a deep seat in a tight rein because here it comes, the world famous Mule Train.
Mule Train! Ha, ha.
And she'll tell you that Muleshoe is just 18 miles from Earth. And a lot of other interesting story. The demise of the drive-in movie theater, for example. There are no more tickets to be sold here at the Astro Drive-In. The beginning of the end came the day before last Thanksgiving when fire consumed the concession stand. It came at a time when the Astro was profitable. Now, within a few hours, this ticket booth and that sign will all be destroyed. In fact, they've already begun. You can go in and see for yourself. This is what's left of a once proud theater. And there's there's a couple of animal-centered stories there when I was hired to do several stories for an animal-centric channel. Those stories you will like. But you never know what'll pop up here, so I hope you'll stay with me. Right now, for those who like motorcycles, Goldwings in particular, I'll tell you briefly that I rode in the 70s for a while, but gave it up, to concentrate on raising a family. And now that I'm an empty nester, my little sister is the one who got me riding again. She woke up one day and told her husband, Gus, that she wanted to ride a motorcycle. And they both ride motorcycles, and then she got me hooked riding again, and that was 4 years ago. And I went through 3 or 4 Harleys and truthfully didn't like them much. Then I went to Indian motorcycles, which I liked much better. And initially, an Indian Vintage, and then a 2018 Indian Chieftain. And I was just very happy with that Chieftain until I saw the redesigned Goldwing. The Goldwing I'd always admired, but it was just too big and too fat. Well, for 2018, they slimmed it down to the size and weight of about the Chieftain, about equal to the Chieftain that I was riding. And I love the design. I love the 6-cylinder horizontally opposed engine. And I was fascinated by the new DCT transmission. Looking at it, I really wanted it. But did I want the DCT, which is not an automatic, it's a manual transmission shifted automatically, and there's a big difference. And I saw a number of videos where guys who had never experienced the DCT transmission took it for a test ride, and they were loving it. So I took my 8-month-old Chieftain down and traded it for the Goldwing DCT. It was rolling the dice because all I had to go by was YouTube videos saying that they loved it, so many people. And by the third day of owning this, I could understand their enthusiasm, because it is just, between the 6-cylinder and that DC transmission, this is just heaven on wheels. So I love this motorcycle. I love riding long distances. I love riding short distances. And I was out riding recently with my brother and sister, my brother-in-law and my sister. And my brother-in-law, Gus, he and I found ourselves at a stoplight and 4 lanes of empty road ahead of us. And we looked at each other, and it was a spontaneous drag race at the light. And I have to tell you, I'm about to sneeze. Sorry. The light turned green, and I can modestly say to you, I smoked him. Him on his Harley and me on this Goldwing, running a DCT. He claimed that he was not drag racing. I don't buy it. He was drag racing. So anyway, welcome to my channel. For those of you who came looking for the puppy story, the link below. I hope you'll click the like. And if you came upon this channel by other means, please subscribe. I will always try to make it interesting. See you on the next ride.